name is Georgia and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing another back to uni video, and today I thought that I would share with you guys something that I get asked all the time. The amount of times someone asks me this, it's ridiculous. Today I'm sharing with you guys how I study and sort of take notes, prepare for classes, pretty much just how I study for uni. So I have a bunch of things to share with you guys, how I stay organized and on top of things, and then also into how I study and make sure that I'm learning the content. I have a bunch of things that I'm super excited to share with you guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do, and subscribe down below so that you don't miss another video. I have a bunch of other back to uni ideas that are either already up or will be coming after this video, so stay tuned for those. But without further ado, let's jump in and get started with the video. Before I attend a lecture, I like to print out my lecture slides. This I have done on and off. I haven't really consistently been following it the last 2 semesters at uni, but this year I'm going to do my absolute best to stick to it because it's the best method that I've found. So I print out my lecture slides and I put them like 6 slides to a page or whatever, and they have space underneath all of them so that you can write notes when the lecturer is talking. I like to do this because I'm writing down what is being said so that I can remember that sort of thing rather than just rewriting what the lecture slides already have up there. I listen for like the way that lecturers like explain things, like they might explain different concepts in a particular way, or you know, they might say something that helps me understand a concept, and so I write that sort of stuff down, and I use like colors and just make sure that I'm really paying attention in my lectures because they are very important, and you want to just get down as much information as you possibly can. Then when I come home from uni and I've had like lectures and whatever that day, I will go and revise what we learned in that lecture, and at the end of every week I will revise what we did in not only the lecture but what we did in tutorials, what the readings were, and what they were about, and just recapping what we did in each subject for that week. This just makes it really easy when it comes to exam time because you've got everything summarized and you're a bit more on top of things than you would be if you didn't do that. So one of the biggest things that I do when I come home, after I've gotten the slides and you know, I've made my own notes, I'll actually make a mind map, and I make a mind map for every single week for all of my subjects. Here is an example of a mind map. I've actually stapled all of the ones that I made for just one of my subjects last semester, and I've put it away. But this is basically what I do. So I just write the topic of whatever week it is. So this one, it was aims of the criminal justice system week 1, and then I just put like the key information from that week, whatever I found interesting, whatever was emphasized, whatever was really important, you know, important theories and stuff, and just sort of summarize the week on a page and make it very colorful and visual. And I did this for every single week, and I just try and sum it up as concisely as possible and in a way that I understand the best. And I found these incredibly helpful when it came to revising for exams. I didn't have to go through everything again and try and learn everything. I had the brief summaries here, and it gives you a really good overview for what sort of went on each week, so you know what's going on and it just refreshes your brain. Now as I go along through the week, sometimes I'll come up with definitions that I don't really know, like words that I don't really understand, phrases or concepts or something that I just think is important, and what I'll do there is pop them on flashcards. Flashcards are my best friend at uni, and they were in high school as well. I just remember things by repetition. Putting things on flashcards that you need to remember is awesome because you've got it all sorted and you can just keep going over that however often you want. I used to, at the end of every week, I would go over all the flashcards I had for all of my subjects, just so I could stay on top of things. It really helped me because towards the end of the semester I found that I was able to use the terms, use the concepts, and sort of link them to other things that we were learning about. It definitely helped me a lot. So here are the flashcards that I have for one of my subjects last semester. I just write them in different colors and have like big answers. I highlight key things as well and just make things really decorative and really attractive. I am like attracted to color, so I try and keep my study material colorful. I also have this little flashcard expanding file type thing, and this is what I store all of my flashcards in. It's from Kmart. It was very inexpensive, but it just has like dividers in there, and I put the name of the subject like on these. I can keep all of my flashcards together, which is awesome because if I'm going to uni to study or something, I just grab this and all of my flashcards are in the one spot. So every week normally you will have some readings to do. I know that with my subjects and courses there is a lot of reading to do. They always have multiple things for you to read every week, like chapters from the textbook, or it might be like an article online or something, and I find these really important. No word of a lie, do your readings, because especially in my courses they come into play a lot. You can find the readings really helpful for like assessment pieces, assignments, and also just generally understanding what you're learning about. I find that it's really helpful for me to read news articles and know what's sort of happening in that area. For me anyway, because I am doing like justice and like psychology, and so I find that especially with justice, like it's nice to see what's happening in the real world, and that helps me understand it better. And when I get into an exam, I might remember the real life scenario more so than just something that I read in a textbook. So I summarize the readings, and while I'm reading something I'll just make a few notes so that I have like a summary of whatever the readings were, and then I print that out and pop that into my study binder, which I'm about to show you. So this is my study binder, and basically I have these dividers. I haven't set it up for this year yet, but I have 4 subjects a semester, and so each subject gets its own color, so everything is color coded and it's consistent with like books and folders. For example, I have a blue book, a blue folder, and a blue section, all for one subject. It just helps me remember it in my brain because, as I said before, my brain is like attracted to color. So I'll pop in here the lecture slides, I'll pop in here any worksheets that we get, and I'll put the printout of the summary of the readings. I'll put that in here just so that all the weeks are together, and then when it comes to revision time I have all of the weeks all together, and I can just open it up and everything we did in week 1 is there, everything we did in week 2 is there, and it's just really nice to stay organized, and I find that works really well. Also, along with the readings, you will have a textbook. This is one of mine, and I've actually taken out some of them. But what I do is when I'm reading it, I will pop a little sticky note in an important part. Maybe there's a diagram in here, or just something that I thought was very important that I needed to understand, and I'll just pop it in there just so that it's easy to find. I use sticky notes for everything. I always buy a bunch at the beginning of every year. I think I got these ones from Big W, and they're just big block colors, and then I've got these ones from Kmart, super inexpensive, and then someone at school, I think for a Secret Santa present, they gave me sushi sticky notes, which are the coolest things ever. So yeah, always have sticky notes on hand to save sections in a book, because I like to sell some of my textbooks eventually. Most of them I'm probably going to keep just for like when I have a job and stuff, I can refer back to them. Some of them I do sell, so I don't like to highlight or write in my textbook. Now sometimes when I'm doing an assignment or something, I might need to look back on something that I did in a different class in a different year. What I like to do to keep myself organized is grab these big like binder expander file things. So these ones I got from Officeworks, I thing. They are just these big filing things. And what I've done, oh, you guys aren't going to be able to see this. I've labeled all of the files for each of the subjects I do. So I have 2 of these. One is for my psychology classes and one is for justice. This is the justice one. And then in that pocket, I will pop everything that I got that semester. So I'll pop worksheets in here, assignments, task sheets, all of my like mind maps. I'll put in here lecture slides, all the information and like handouts and stuff that I had, pop them in here. And then in later years, if you ever need to come back or you need to look back on something or you want to check out an assignment that you did or something, it's all just easy to grab and you just look at the subject and you can have a look. So I find that really handy. That's another big tip I have for you guys. Probably not as important if you're in first year, but going into second year, you'd probably want to get yourself one of those. Now onto a few things that I personally like to do to help myself remember content and things like that. The first one that I had mentioned before was repetition. Repetition works wonders for me, just really glues it into my brain, and that comes along with like flashcards and that sort of thing. Now sometimes I get really stuck on some concepts or just like what something means or yeah, how something works or whatever. So what I like to do, and this honestly works for me so well, I put hard concepts into songs, and you have to get a bit creative I guess, but I put them to the beat of like a popular song that I know and rehearse the song over and over again. And I did this last semester for my exams and it worked so well. I got into the exam and like there was a question on one of those hard concepts that I was always having trouble with, and I just sang the song in my head and I got it and it made sense and it worked. And that's just how my brain works. I don't know. That's definitely one of the biggest things that I've learned and something that I've done a lot more in uni compared to high school. I also learn best by teaching others. So I try and teach concepts to either my friends if I have them in my classes or whatever, and before the exam I will like meet up with them and just go over things and teach them things that they don't know that I know, and that'll just help really drill it in my brain. But also just like a family member or yeah, a friend or something, you can teach them concepts, and I find that trying to explain it to someone else helps you understand it a lot more. And the very last tip I have for you guys is I put key concepts around my house. So I'll put them on sticky notes or just pieces of paper and tape them all around the place. I used to do this in high school as well, and I'll put like key concepts and stuff all around like my bathroom. I'll put them on the outside of the shower, but so that the information is like facing in the shower. So this is so weird, but when I'm in the shower at night I like read all of them and it just gets it in my brain, and the more I see it the more I remember it. And I just pop it everywhere, like in the toilet, in the basin, like not in the basin, put it on the fridge, put it at the front door, put it on my bedside table, all of that sort of stuff, just so that I can see it and it sort of gets in my brain a little bit better. But that is all of the tips I have for you guys, and that is how I study at uni. I really hope this video was helpful for you guys. Once I'm back at uni and I'm sort of getting into the swing of things, I'm going to be making a vlog which will feature how I actually am starting to study for uni, because as soon as I get back to uni I'm back onto everything. I go straight into everything full swing. So I'll definitely be making a vlog where I will strictly just be showing you guys how I stay on top of my uni work from the get-go, and I'll show you how I set up my OneNote, how I set up my laptop, how I prepare for my classes, what I do after them, and all of that stuff. But I'll actually like bring you guys along to do it with me, so stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you all in a video very soon. Bye!